ball came flying in at incredible speed and caught him right in the face. The impact looked extremely painful and immediately disrupted the play, but the most frustrating part was that the runner was already charging toward the base. While he was trying to recover, the runner completed the slide and safely reached the base. The hard pitch was bunted high toward the left side, and the defender instantly reacted by charging after the ball and launching into an incredible diving catch. He had to commit completely to the play, as he stretched out and went airborne, trying to reach the ball before it hit the ground. He landed face first on the field, but somehow managed to keep the ball secured in his glove. Even after the rough landing, he quickly got back up. These pitchers have an unbelievable throwing technique because every pitch seems to follow a completely different path. The ball starts with a sharp movement that makes it look like it is heading straight toward the batter, but just before it reaches the hitting zone, it suddenly breaks in another direction, making the pitch incredibly difficult to read. The batter has almost no time to react. The pitch was delivered and the catcher immediately caught it before quickly throwing the ball back toward the pitcher. But unfortunately, the throw came with too much force, and the catcher's follow-through went in the wrong direction. The movement accidentally struck the pitcher in a sensitive area, and he immediately dropped to the ground in pain. The entire sequence happened so quickly that nobody seemed to expect it. What started as a normal catch and return throw suddenly turned into a very unfortunate moment on the field. He uses an absolutely crazy pitching technique by lowering his body almost as close to the ground as possible before releasing the ball. The unusual arm angle makes the pitch extremely difficult for the batter to read. Because the ball seems to come from a completely unexpected position, the movement and release point make it hard to judge where the pitch is going until it is already too late. He decided to entertain his kids with a little experiment, hitting a volleyball with a baseball bat. Somehow, his swing still looked absolutely perfect, making every hit incredibly satisfying to watch. He mounted a camera on his helmet to give us a real first-person view of what it is like to be a catcher behind the plate. As the pitcher delivers the ball, you can see the pitch coming directly toward you from the catcher's perspective, and just how quickly you have to react to catch it. Every movement feels much faster from this angle. The ball was hit high into the air, and the fielder immediately tracked it down while calling for his teammate to stop and give him a clear path to make the catch. Everything looked under control as he positioned himself perfectly underneath the ball and waited for it to come down, but at the last moment, the ball somehow slipped right past his glove and dropped onto the ground. He kept practicing his throws while the coach stood behind him, carefully watching and measuring the speed of every pitch. At first, the throws were already impressive, but then something even crazier started happening. His velocity kept increasing with every attempt. Instead of slowing down, he continued adding more speed and power to each throw. The coach could only keep monitoring the numbers as the pitcher repeatedly pushed himself further. He was getting bored while waiting in the dugout, so he decided to entertain himself with a little trick in front of the entire team. He picked up the ball and started bouncing it repeatedly on top of his bat, while carefully keeping the bat balanced. The ball kept landing perfectly on the bat over and over again, and somehow he managed to maintain the rhythm for an incredibly long time. Everyone around him was amazed watching him keep the ball under control. For so long, it looked almost effortless until finally one small mistake sent the ball falling to the ground. They are playing baseball right on the beach under the blazing sun, and somehow every single hit looks incredibly satisfying. The bright sky, the ocean, and the sound of the bat making perfect contact make the whole game feel completely different. Every swing sends the ball flying across the beach, and the relaxed atmosphere makes it look like the perfect way to spend the day. Honestly, I could watch these swings and this beautiful setting all day. A 95-mile-per-hour pitch from an MVP looks completely different when you watch the movement closely. Every pitch seems to have its own unpredictable path, and the ball appears to change direction. At the last possible moment, the batter keeps trying to read the release and anticipate where the ball will end up, but somehow the movement makes every attempt look almost impossible. This kid walked away with his chest out after making an incredible play to stop the runner. He successfully made the tag as the runner came sliding into the base, and the umpire immediately called him out. The confidence in his reaction was hilarious as he calmly walked away like he had just made the biggest play of the game. The timing on the tag was perfect, and the way he celebrated afterward made the whole moment even more entertaining.